How's it going, everybody? This is Doug of Doug Ash Photography, and today I'm actually going to be going over some of my favorite spots to catch a sunrise in the Richmond, Virginia area. I am shooting this from quarantine, and so I haven't been out and about a whole lot, and I don't even know if I would shoot video on location of some of these spots because, again, I am a photographer. I'm more comfortable with photography, so I think this is going to be the best way to do it anyways. So what I'll do is I'll record me talking about these spots and then show some pictures, maybe some maps, a couple cool parking spots on how I get to these places. And a lot of these you may or may not already know about. Some of them are kind of secretive, but not really secretive. And if you've been in the area enough, you know of these spots, or at least you know how to find these spots. There are a few secrets or two that I'm not going to try to spill. Like, I don't want to share with everybody some of the really good spots. So I may or may not give them all out here. All right, first spot we've got underneath the Nickel Bridge on the James River. This I actually found because of my trail running. Kind of gave me a unique perspective, like getting down there running on the Buttermilk Trail. But then for some more views here, what you do is you can actually take the fire road, like the walking path, a little bit further down the James, and you can hop on some of the rocks. And that way you can actually catch a really good sunrise, like actually see the sun come up. Here we've got a sunrise, I call it. I think looks like in the wintertime out there with some geese flying over, beautiful sunrise. Just got to watch out for any branches that may be blocking your composition. Otherwise, use the rocks in the foreground, beautiful bright sunny sky in the background. Pretty sweet shots down there. All right, quickest way to get there is actually to park in this spot that's circled on Riverside Drive, right beside Nickel Bridge, or the Boulevard Toll Bridge as shown on this picture. So park there. There's a trailhead right where the road curves that leads to Buttermilk Trail. Go left, which actually goes underneath the Boulevard Bridge, or the Nickel Bridge. There's a bunch of slippery rocks there, so be careful, watch your step down. The path kind of weaves down and around, then actually leads underneath the Nickel Bridge, just closer to the river. Take that, cross the train tracks, of course look both ways, then go down, like on the other side of the train tracks, go down some more rocks, and that actually leads you to James River, where you're actually right underneath the Nickel Bridge. Next, we've got the Manchester Bridge / flood wall area. There's a couple different spots around here, so I'll kind of include all three. So I mean, you can hit them all in once, like I do sometimes, or just kind of break it up. Yeah, so what you'll do with this one is park in the Tredegar parking lot underneath the train tracks, and using the Teapot Bridge cross to like the Manchester side of Richmond, the southern side of Richmond, using the Tyler Potterfield Memorial Bridge, Teapot for short. And of course, beautiful views while crossing the river there. You can turn around and look into the city. Once you cross the bridge, it kind of gets a little hard to explain, but just know that there's a walking path there. You want to get off the bridge right before the walking path. There's also like a climbing stairs up for climbers only, as it says. Skip that. Cut off the bridge before that, walk down that little staircase. After taking the stairs down, follow the path in front of the climbing wall that actually leads up to the Manchester Bridge. You'll be able to see a pretty sweet setup of Richmond there from underneath Manchester Bridge. Get that classic shot of the Manchester Bridge leading into Richmond. Then right after that, you can actually continue walking onto the flood wall, where get another classic image of the city. Beautiful sunrises there. And keep walking down the flood wall. You can actually walk to Manchester if you want, but that's also where you get a pretty cool view, like this one here with the bridge over. That industrial plant is no longer there. It was torn down for an apartment complex. Another good sunrise spot here is Fountain Lake at Bird Park. So this photo is a couple years old, but I did recently go back out there like 2 weeks ago and get some pretty sweet ones with some fog. It was actually really foggy. Like right before I got there, you could see sunrise colors, pinks, oranges, but then the fog actually covered up. It was super gray, kind of dull, but cool, like black and white shots. But then the sun, as it rose behind the trees, started burning through the fog, and you can actually see like the sun, like sunbursts. Turned out actually pretty cool. Next, we've got the like South Belvedere / Lee Street, both the north and the south end of that. This is actually one of my favorite, like, quickest spots to go, because what you can do is you can actually park in Oregon Hill, then walk to the exit ramp of the bridge, like walk underneath from Oregon Hill, then go up the exit ramp. You get 2 spots from there. First one into the city, looking into the city with a little bit of like green trees, shrubbery kind of in front of you. But if you keep walking up the exit ramp, then you look left, kind of sit above the train tracks, where you can actually get a really good overlook of the city of Richmond. Really good for sunrises here. You can either do have the train tracks like directly under you, like as leading lines, pretty good shot there, or go a little bit further on the bridge, and then actually have like the train tracks still leading into the city, still contributing to be like a leading line, but a little more of the actual city just from a different angle here. It's pretty sweet there as well. I wouldn't recommend walking all the way to the south end of the Lee Bridge. This is more of like a separate photography trip or a second photography morning. Just drive to the other end of the bridge. And there's a little neighborhood kind of right at the end of that I park my car in. And then it actually allows you to, you cross Lee Bridge from that apartment complex. I think I've got here it's listed as Stonewall Avenue. And you can walk across the street to get this shot here. I feel like there's times where, of course, the trains are all in there, and then times where there's not, so it all depends. This was a really good morning for it. Had the trains, nice foreground interest there, and then the beautiful sunrise right beside the city. This was before the sun actually popped up. Pretty good views there. The street can get pretty busy, or the bridge can get pretty busy, so just be cautious when you're crossing. A few backup spots here. This image was actually taken at the VMFA. So like if I can't get down to the river or really travel to do anything crazy, like any James River spots or down on the rocks or across bridges and stuff like that. So what I'll do is I'll walk to the VMFA from my apartment, which is pretty close, not long, maybe like 10-15 minute walk. And actually get some pretty good sunrises there. A couple unique spots. You might not actually see the sun rising above the horizon, but you'll get a bunch of it like the pinks, purple, kind of cotton candy type stuff. Pretty sweet there. Next spot, Boulevard. Again, not going to actually catch the sun that you would like at the river. I mean, you're going to see it coming up, but maybe not actually crossing or coming up on the horizon. But Boulevard is made of some pretty good sunrise shots. Kind of random, but like it kisses a lot of Boulevard. Makes for some pretty interesting shots again. And catching Richmond sunrises, they are one of my favorite. I actually do prefer that over sunset because I like to start early, get things knocked out. And it's normally less crowded than sunsets, less crowded spots to hit up. So wrapping up here, I wanted to see what y'all's thoughts were on some of y'all's favorite spots in the city. I know I didn't list them all, but like I said, I listed my favorites. So what are some of y'all's favorites? And do y'all also prefer sunrises over sunsets, or is it flipped? Appreciate everybody watching. Y'all have a good one.